body.
Okay, well, first off, thank you for inviting me here. Again, I am attorney Jennifer Arlene J. Reyes. Regarding that question, return and remand, they are somehow similar, right? Ibabalik mo sa ibang body or ibang grupo, kumbaga, yung isang kaso or yung isang matter. Because they categorically stated that they did not dismiss the impeachment case, right? So we cannot say that they rejected the said impeachment complaint. They only remanded, kumbaga daw, yung impeachment case sa House of Representatives. But of course, the Senate, or the impeachment court rather, is defending their move, saying that there is nothing wrong with the said remanding of the case. Well, in my humble legal opinion, let's simplify the matter, right? What truly is the purpose? What is the point of remanding the said impeachment case back to the House of Representatives? They stated two reasons. First, they want the House of Representatives to certify that they did not violate the 1987 Constitution. In my humble opinion, again, what is the point? Since under their impeachment rules that they used during the past impeachment cases, there is a presumption of legality when the House of Representatives files an impeachment complaint before the Senate. Moreover, they already issued summons to Vice President Sara Duterte. This logically means that they are already acknowledging the legality of the said impeachment complaint. On the second reason, the second reason is that they want to confirm with the 20th Congress if they still want to continue the impeachment case or impeachment complaint. Again, why will you ask something from the 19th Congress, which it cannot do? Hence, the Senate or the impeachment court stated that they will have to wait for the answer of the 20th Congress. Meaning, it renders the explicit provision of the Constitution illusory or nugatory. Article 11 of the 1987 Constitution explicitly provides that trial by the Senate shall forthwith proceed. Agad-agaran, wala dapat delay. So if we will still wait for the 20th Congress, which will, start on June 30 of 2025, or as the Senate spokesperson said, July 28, it circumvents the spirit of the 1987 Constitution already. They are saying that, of course, they are empowered as an impeachment court to implement their own rules and regulations. But let me accentuate that they are not superior to the Constitution. They must still abide or comply with the letter and, more importantly, the spirit and intent of the 1987 Constitution. In sum, I do not see any practical value or any point why the said remanding should still be done. Well, which they did. And the 1987 Constitution is clear and unambiguous. Trial shall forthwith proceed. What if nagkaroon na ng 20th Congress na iba na ang mga miyembro ng Senado? Paano kung may gawin na namang ganitong motion? So, maaari pa rin bang sabihin na karapatan pa rin ito ng Senado dahil sila ay may kapangyarihan na gawin ang kahit anong gusto nila as an impeachment court? So ang mangyayari, wala nang katapusan ang proceeding na ito. Again, it will render illusory the spirit and intention of the 1987 Constitution.
Ma'am, hindi ba mockery na in-remand yung impeachment complaint, just asking yung House of Representatives to certify na hindi sila lumabag sa Constitution. Pardon the word. Engot ba naman? Yung gumawa ng impeachment, sasabihin yung ginawa namin ay paglabag sa Constitution?
Exactly. Maybe you can use that word also, no? It's a mockery of, well, they are saying that with respect to this impeachment proceeding, the House and the Senate are not co-equal bodies. But assuming arguendo that they are not co-equal bodies, your point is good. Bakit mo naman itatanong doon sa nag-submit ng impeachment complaint kung tama yung sinubmit nila? That is the duty of the impeachment court. The correctness of the complaint, whether it is baseless or not, whether it is sufficient in form or in substance, is the duty of the senator judges. And it must be done during the trial so as not to waste time, energy, and more importantly, taxpayers' money.
Ang spokesperson ng impeachment court, si Attorney Reginald Tongol, had this to say, Sabi niya, the decision reached by senator judges to return the document to the lower chamber was an action of liberality. They talked about just amending the motion and just doing it, just remanding what we call it. There was no impropriety in what transpired. What do you have to say to that?
Well, of course, with due respect to my pañero, of course, he's the spokesperson of the impeachment court. Of course, he has the duty to defend the actions of the said impeachment court. But then again, in interpreting constitutional provisions, they must always be reminded that the framers of our Constitution placed the words in our Constitution with a definite purpose. If the Constitution says a word clearly or unambiguously, there is no need for further interpretation. Ang mandato ng saligang batas ay dapat sundin kahit ng mga pinakamatataas na opisyal ng gobyerno. That is why they need to be reminded that yes, they have the power as an impeachment court to issue certain orders, but then again, they must comply with the Constitution. May sinasite kasi sila na US case US versus Nixon daw na sinite sa kaso ni Francisco versus House of Representatives. But then again, I read the full text of the said case. This is a lengthy case. And sinabi mismo ng Korte Suprema sa kaso na yon that an impeachment proceeding, even if it is sui generis or a class of its own, it is not exempted to judicial review. Kapag nag-violate ng probisyon ng saligang batas ang impeachment court or ang impeachment proceeding, maaaring inalify ito ng Korte Suprema. So sa mga nagsasabi na hindi pwedeng pakialaman ng Korte Suprema ang impeachment court because it is a political process, that is incorrect. Maling-mali yun. Kahit na anong aksyon ng sangay or departamento ng gobyerno, basta't ito ay nagva-violate sa pinakamataas na batas, which is the 1987 Constitution, our Supreme Court, our Judicial Department can review and, in proper cases, nullify the said actions.
Attorney, could this remand set a future president in impeachment trials and in a way affect the check and balances between the legislative chambers?
Well, first off, when you mention that it can be a precedent, yes, it can be a precedent, and should I say, it can be a bad precedent. Just imagine our future impeachment proceedings being further and unduly delayed by these remanding of cases na pwede namang sagutin at dapat lang naman na sagutin during the trial before the impeachment court or before the Senate. Maaaring maging basehan nila ito to further delay or sabi nga ng ating mga framers, 'di ba, ng ating saligang batas, bakit parang may ibang agenda? Kumbaga, bakit kailangan pang gawin ito? And sa checks and balances, kapag pumayag tayo na hindi pala raw pwedeng pakialaman kahit ng kataas-taasang hukuman ang mga galaw ng impeachment court, that will annihilate, that will degrade the doctrine of checks and balances, which is a basic postulate under the 1987 Constitution. Walang kahit sinong departamento ang mas mataas sa kahit ano sa kanila. Pantay-pantay sila. Ang pinakamataas lamang ay ang saligang batas.
Ma'am, of course, ang ating hangarin, ang description ng ating gobyerno is a government of law and not of men. Right now, sa palitan ng salita ng senador at mga kongresista, we are a government of law, yes. Sino ang magre-reign? Sino magre-renda sa away na ito para mapanatili yung, if not order, law sa ating bansa? Sino ang pwedeng mag-question sa Supreme Court nito? Sino pwedeng magdala ng kaso?
Well, any citizen, any Filipino citizen has the locus standi or legal standing to file a petition before the Supreme Court to question the validity of the actions of the impeachment court. Because in my humble legal opinion, this involves an issue of transcendental importance. At kapag ang issue ay of transcendental importance, kahit na sinong mamamayan ay may karapatan na mag-file ng petition to question the validity of the acts of government.
So sa usapin ng batas, isa lang ang Supreme Court.
Ang konstitusyon.
Ang konstitusyon.
Oo,
Pero
ang
sinong,
konstitusyon.
of course, ang Supreme Court ang nag-i-interpret.
Yes.
Okay. So, ano man pwedeng parusa, assuming for the sake of discussion, as a law professor that you are, ano ang pwedeng consequence kapag nasabi na may sa partido, sa panig ng so-called impeachment court at saka ng mga impeachment prosecutor team, may lumabag sa batas, sabi ng Supreme Court. Ano ang pwedeng kaparusahan sa kanila?
That's a good question, no? Kasi when the Supreme Court, if ever, hypothetically, if the Supreme Court decides, if someone files a petition before the court questioning the validity of the actions of the impeachment court, remanding the case or delaying this impeachment, and the Supreme Court eventually decides that they committed a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction, then, of course, the Supreme Court may mandate or order the said impeachment court to forthwith, at last, to forthwith proceed with the trial. As to the consequences, kung makukulong ba or maaalis sa pwesto, of course, there's a loophole in our law. Unfortunately, as senators or as an impeachment court, they can just follow what the Supreme Court will order. Pero hindi naman sila maaaring tanggalin sa pwesto or makulong regarding those actions.
Pwede ba silang umakto na yung Supreme Court? Can they say na yung mga senators na yung 18 are guilty of gross ignorance of the Constitution and of the law?
Maaari.
Pwede sabihin. Pero ano yung doon? Magiging decision ng Supreme Court?
Well, the Supreme Court, as you know, as the final bulwark of justice and democracy, may state that the impeachment court or the senator judges committed grave abuse of discretion, or hypothetically that they are grossly ignorant of the law. But of course, since the Constitution expressly provides that they, as the sole judge of this impeachment case, must try and decide this proceeding, then we cannot do anything but to hope that they will let their conscience and political win and not their biases or political alliances. Kaya, to put it bluntly, dapat mahiya sila sa taong bayan. Dapat ang pairali nila ay ang loyalty nila sa konstitusyon, dahil ang konstitusyon ay ang sambayan ng Pilipino. Dapat they should always be reminded that they are the senators of the Filipino people and not of a particular public official or a particular individual.
Ang judiciary, para magkaroon doon ng order ang interpretation ng batas, bounded by tradition and decorum. Ang tanong ko po sa inyo, ano ang tingin nyo sa ginawa ng Senado as an impeachment court na may tatlong senator judges ni hindi nagdan ng judicial robe at kitang-kita yung coaching at saka yung tumatayo na lang bawat isa, sabi nga ng dating Senate President, hindi naman dapat tumatayo yung impeachment judge hanggang hindi nire-recognize ng Senate President yung majority floor leader. Ano po masasabi niyo ron? Parang importante ba talaga sa dispensation ng justice yung tradition and decorum?
Oh, yes, of course, because most of the Filipinos are watching. They are the representatives of the people. They must always prove to the Filipino people that they deserve the votes of the said populace. So kung ikaw ay nagpapakita na senator judge ka but you manifestly show partiality or bias when the Constitution clearly provides that you must be, the Constitution and your Senate rules provide that you must be politically neutral, hindi magandang tingnan talaga yun. Kumbaga sa judge or huwes, you must possess the cold neutrality of a judge. Because the people elected you there, tapos ang ipapakita mo, wala pa ngang trial. Hindi mo pa nga nakikita yung mga ebidensya. May decision ka na. So, that is improper. That is, that is not complying with your duty as a senator judge or an impeachment judge, rather, to be politically neutral.
There is growing clamor for several members of the Senate now sitting as an impeachment trial to recuse from the proceedings, to inhibit, obviously because of their apparent bias favoring the Vice President. Can you tell us of the mechanisms enshrined in the Constitution or in the rules of the Senate to make this happen?
Well, presently, unfortunately, there is no rule or mechanism provided and under our Constitution that says that if a certain senator judge seems impartial, we can inhibit him or her. But of course, that is a good point. Actually, I am appealing to the 20th Congress. If you truly are genuine in accountability and in ensuring that the Filipino people will be served in the future, they must include in their own Senate rules that if a certain judge seems impartial, then there must be ways like a motion to recuse or a motion to inhibit these partial senator judges. But unfortunately, just like what I mentioned, under our present law, there is no available remedy to inhibit a certain senator from doing his or her job as a senator judge. So, sige.
Follow-up, attorney. For the sake of discussion, nag-recuse sila. Will this in any way affect yung botohan? I mean, boboto pa rin naman sila, di ba? Even if they recuse. This is a personal decision on the part of the senator judges. Pero may epekto ba to dun sa boto nila in the final judgment?
Well, if they will recuse themselves but they will still participate or vote, Well, it will not affect ang klaro lamang naman po sa konstitusyon ay 2/3 vote, right? Ng karamihan ng miyembro ng Senado to convict or to remove an impeachable official. But the beautiful effect of that ay they can prove to the Filipino people na mayroon pa silang delikadesa. Libre lamang po ang delikadesa, right? So I appeal to them that if they still have delicadeza and they still respect the Filipino people, stop being partial or at least have the decency to inhibit themselves from this proceeding.
How would you interpret yung action ng tatlong senador na hindi nagsuot ng robe? Si Robin Hood, si Amy, tsaka si Cynthia Villar.
Ano raw po ba ang dahilan nila? Kasi parang narinig ko kay
Hindi naman nila pinaliwanag eh.
Parang narinig ko sa balita, wala raw kasi siya, hindi raw siya napagpagawaan ng ng robe.
Is that some sort of a protest or what?
Maybe we can interpret that as a silent protest. If they cannot give a plausible reason why they did not wear a robe during the convening of the impeachment court, pero na ganun sila, no? Well, I can only surmise. I can only surmise as to their reasons, but of course, it breeds perception amongst the populace. If they did not wear a certain robe which symbolizes the majesty and the solemnity of the said proceeding, then I will just let the Filipino people decide on what their perception is.
Okay. Ma'am, of course, kasama ng recusal, kasama na yung paniniwalang politikal, may nagsasabi na madaling makarecruit ng siyam na bilang. Coming from 18, yun naman po nawala doon sa 5, ay 3. Potentially, 2 lang ang pumalit doon. So baka maging 4 lang sila. But anyway, assuming na makakuha ng siyam para hindi makonvict itong si Vice President Sara, yun po bang ebidensya, like yung maaari na mabuksang bank accounts ng mga Duterte, yun po ba'y saan pa magagamit na ebidensya? At patanong na rin po namin, kasi naging usapan ito at hindi naman nakatulan nung panahon ni then VP Leni Robredo, yung bang Vice President ay kagaya ng Presidente na nag-enjoy ng immunity from suit?
Again, that's a good question. Only the President of the Philippines enjoys the presidential immunity from suit. At wag po tayong malilito dito, no? Kahit ang presidente ay may presidential immunity from suit, he or she can only invoke that during his or her tenure. Kapag wala na siya sa pwesto or hindi na siya presidente, wala na ding immunity. In other words, the Vice President has no immunity which is enjoyed by the President. With respect to your other question, kunwaring hindi makonvict si VP Sara in this impeachment proceeding, the evidence which were presented here can of course be used or utilized in another proceeding. For example, if they file criminal charges against her before the regular courts or before the Ombudsman, Sandigan Bayan, then all those evidence can be admissible if properly or formally offered to the appropriate court. So, maaaring gamitin.
Okay, ma'am. Again, I may be speculating, but as a professor that you are, tulungan niyo kaming maunawaan yung mga bagay na maaaring pinangangambahan namin mangyari, maaaring pinangangambahan din namin hindi mangyari. Ma'am, assuming for the sake of discussion, hindi makakuha ng 16. Okay, lumabas yung sinasabi ni dating Senador Trillanes na hindi pwedeng buksan naman yung bangko. Ang nag-iisang exemption, yung impeachment. Halimbawang sa ombudsman siya dinimanda. Plunder ba ito? At kung plunder, hindi ba mas malala ito kaysa impeachment? Kasi kung impeachment, tanggal ka lang sa pwesto. Pag sinampahan ka ng plunder at umusad sa ombudsman, ay wala ho yatang bail yun kung tama ang pagkakaunawa ko.
Yes, that is the difference between an impeachment proceeding and a criminal proceeding. In an impeachment proceeding po, the only penalty which is imposed is removal from office, but it also entails the perpetual disqualification from public office. Hindi na siya maaaring makapwesto or ma-elect sa anumang government position under the Republic of the Philippines. On the other hand, if it is a criminal proceeding, of course, the penalty of imprisonment can be imposed if convicted by the courts.
Ma'am, clearly there is a standoff between the Senate and the House regarding this matter. If this impasse continues, do you think it will lead into a full-blown constitutional crisis, number one? And number two, if this happens, will it impact on the timeline of the proceedings, considering that there is an explicit provision in the Constitution which states that the trial shall commence forthwith?
Yes to both questions. Indeed, if this standoff continues or will not be resolved soon, a constitutional crisis is impending, evidently. And as to the other thing you mentioned, what's the other thing?
How will it affect the timeline?
How it will affect the timeline? Of course, it will further delay the said proceeding. Tandaan natin na hihintayin pa di umano na mag-convene yung 20th Congress before they can finally proceed with the trial. And in addition to that, then of course it will further delay the impeachment proceeding. That is why, again, I appeal to our legislators, to our senators and members of the House of Representatives to set aside their self-interests, to set aside their political alliances, and just prioritize serving the Filipino people and upholding the supremacy of our Constitution. Dahil kapag pride talaga ang papairali nila, wala talagang mananalo. Actually, ang talo, yung taong bayan. That is why maawa naman sila sa taong bayan, right? This is not about them. This is about finding accountability dahil ang impeachment process ay protection para sa mga Pilipino, hindi protection para sa iilan lamang na individual.
Ma'am, again, as a law professor that you are, naririnig namin ito sa lahat ng trial involving public official. Hindi makakain yan, maglingkod na lang tayo para sa mga mahihirap, tumulong sa nangangailangan. Anong masasabi nyo in those kind of dismissive utterances mula dun sa mga, well, maaring partisano, maaring non-partisan na tao?
Well, that statement, of course, he has the right to express that. But in my humble legal opinion, that is irrelevant. And that is trivializing the justice and the need for accountability of our public officials. Pag ganoon ang dahilan natin sa mga bagay-bagay, wala nang magkakaroon ng kaso. Sasabihin, hindi naman nakakain ang hustisya. Hindi naman nakakain ang vindication. Hindi naman nakakain ang compensation for the damages. We should not be narrow-minded because the impeachment process is not about Vice President Sara Duterte. It is about the power of the Filipino people to hold accountable a public official, an impeachable official, to answer and to be removed if it merits the removal of that official from office. Ganito lang kasimple Why delay it? Let's proceed with the trial. Kung ikaw ay supporter ng ni Vice President Sara Duterte, this is a win-win situation for her because during trial, she can refute all the evidence against her and defend herself in a proper forum. On the other hand, the prosecution can also prove its allegations, then panalo ang taong bayan because we will know the truth. Senators do not have a choice. Even if this will be delayed, they must still proceed with the trial. Kailangang maipagpatuloy ang impeachment case against Vice President Sara Duterte.
Base doon sa kanilang mga reaction, paninindigan, at bilang isang eksperto sa Constitution, sa tingin mo ay panalo yung patuloy talaga? Patuloy na ito? Wala nang at-down?
Yes. The impediment, the delays, but as to the proceeding or the trial, matutuloy ito, and just to accentuate, dapat matuloy dahil ito ay utos ng pinakamataas na batas ng ating bansa, which is the Saligang Batas.
Patutuloy 19th o 20th Congress?
20th Congress. That is my fearless forecast. Yes, sir?
Yung mga ibang senador nagkaroon na ng pre-judgment at nakikita natin, tulad ni Jaime, saka si Robby, nakalubilo yung in a normal court situation, hindi nangyayari yan. Ngayon court. Can we ask the senators to inhibit themselves? Kasi hindi na parehas yan, kampi sila kaya. Mr. Sala ko.
Yes, sir. I commiserate with your opinion, and I also, I agree with your opinion. Gaya nga po ng sabi ko kanina, no, libre po ang delikadeza. Even if it is scarce nowadays in our public officials, evidently, kung sila po talaga ay may malasakit sa bayan, and they want to prove that as senators, they are the public servants of the Filipino people, and not Vice President Sara Duterte or the Duterte family, it is the proper thing to do. Or kung hindi man, dahil minamandato talaga ng ating saligang batas that they should try and decide and will remain as judges, they must refrain from doing things which evince their partiality, right? Huwag na sanang yung nagpapakita pa sila kasama silang namamasyal sa ibang bansa. Diba? Or yung mga statements sila, not a statement of a senator judge, but they are as if lawyering for the vice president, which should not be the case as an impeachment judge.
If the senators persist in showing such kind of partiality, what legal option can we do? Can we bring this issue before the Supreme Court and raise the issue of partiality?
With respect to that, sir, I believe since they are senator judges, as a general rule, the Supreme Court will exercise judicial restraint on the matter. But when it comes to accountability, well, this is also my call to my kababayans, no? Na in the next elections, you must think carefully, and one of the criteria that you must look for in a senator or in a public servant is that he or she upholds the Constitution, he or she serves the Filipino people, and not a particular political party or organization. So kung hindi man sila managot sa batas, dahil walang batas presently na nagpaparusa sa kanila, dapat panagutin sila ng taong bayan sa next elections. Dahil ang election, yan ay ang isang araw na nagpapatunay that sovereignty resides in the people and all government authority emanates from them. Nasa sa inyo po ang kapangyarihan, hindi sa mga public officials. That is why we must always vote those who deserve the position so as not para hindi tayo mag-suffer sa consequences na ang mga nakaupo ay not deserving to be public servants.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning. Grant po from Bombo Radio Philippines. Ma'am, kay attorney po yung question. Okay. Hello, ma'am.
Sorry, darling.
Grant
Okay.
from Bombo Radio Philippines. Ma'am, given the time po na yung ating 19th Congress ay magtatapos na sa katapusan ng buwan, and then hindi pa natin matukoy kung papaano kung ituloy pa rin nila, ipilit pa rin nila yung impeachment proceedings this 19th Congress. And then, i-connect ko lang po siya sa, may nag-file po kasi na group of lawyers sa Supreme Court na nagsasabing invalid daw yung impeachment, impeachment complaint. And then, once daw na pinursu pa rin na ituloy yung impeachment trial this 19th Congress, possible daw, ma'am, na mas-sacrifice yung karapatan sa side ni Vice President to defend herself. What is your reaction to this, ma'am?
So there is a pending petition before the Supreme Court which wants to nullify the articles of impeachment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But let us remember that as long as the Supreme Court will not issue an order yet, if hypothetically it will nullify the articles of impeachment, dapat gumulong pa rin yung trial hanggang sa mahintay natin or magdesisyon ang Korte Suprema. But of course, in the event na mag-decide ang Korte Suprema, hypothetically, sabihin ng Korte Suprema, okay, invalid yung articles of impeachment. Then, of course, the impeachment trial can no longer proceed. Nangyari na ito sa kaso ni Francisco versus House of Representatives. When the Supreme Court declared that the second impeachment complaint against former Justice Davide was invalid, then the Supreme Court said that it can no longer be done within that year. Okay? Doon lamang sa year na yun. Kasi may prohibition tayo sa saligang batas na maaari lamang mag-initiate ng impeachment proceedings against an impeachable official ng isang beses lang sa loob ng isang taon. Pero kung yun ang maging desisyon ng Korte Suprema sa kaso na ito, maaari pa rin mag-file ng impeachment complaint against VP Sara Duterte sa susunod na taon. Basta wag lang pasok doon sa loob ng isang taon na nag-file ng impeachment complaint against her sa Kamara.
Follow up, if ever, ma'am, hypothetical question, if ever na matuluyan na ma-impeach si VP Sara, and then ito si Supreme Court, lumabas yung decision nila to null and void the impeachment complaint. May kapangyarihan po ba ang Korte Suprema na ipawalang bisa yung magiging decision o resolution sa impeachment court?
Okay, that's a good question. Because if mauna na ma-convict, mauna na ma-impeach or ma-convict rather si Vice President Sara Duterte before mag-decide ang Supreme Court sa validity ng articles of impeachment. In my humble legal opinion, hindi na itutuloy ng Supreme Court yung ruling on that said issue. Ito ay tinatawag namin sa batas na the issue becomes moot and academic. Dahil wala nang silbi kung i-rule pa ito, yung issue na ito. So in my humble legal opinion, when that happens, nauna yung pag-impeach or pag-convict rather, or pag-remove kay VP Sara, at hindi pa nadedesisyonan ng Korte Suprema, it will just state that it is moot and academic. However, there are exceptions to that doctrine. And I do not want to preempt the ruling of the Supreme Court regarding that matter. May mga exceptions kasi yan. So, nasa Supreme Court pa rin naman ang authority kung sasabihin nito na moot and academic na yung issue, so hindi na kami makikialam, or they will still resolve the issue because it is capable of repetition, yet evading review.
Good morning, attorney, gentlemen. Attorney, sabi niyo po, in the event mag-decide ang Korte Suprema na i-grant, na inalify yung articles of impeachment, the impeachment trial can no longer proceed. But ma'am, Does the Senate have the option to defy whatever the order of the SC will be? Since alam natin, nag-convene na sila bilang impeachment court, pero despite that, sila po ay part pa rin ng legislative branch. So hindi po sila isang regional trial court or appellate court, hindi po sila under ng SC, magkahiwalay pa rin po sila ng branch. So if ever mag-grant ang possibly petition for certiorari, pwedeng hindi po siguro mag-apply sa Senate since magkahiwalay po sila na branch of government.
Well, with respect to that question, if the Supreme Court hypothetically nullifies the articles of impeachment filed by the House of Representatives, the Senate must comply with the said decision. This is not saying that the Supreme Court or the Judicial Department is superior to the other legislative departments or to the executive or the legislative branch. It just means that the Supreme Court, as the one interpreting the highest law of the land, must be followed. In simple terms, kung wala ng articles of impeachment, ano pa yung dapat desisyonan or litisin ng Senado?
To Yusek Bernard po. Hi, sir.
Legal opinion, I said this in my TV interviews before, I believe that they are co-equal bodies. The Constitution just delineates their respective roles when it is an impeachment proceeding, that the House will be the prosecution and the Senate will be the judges. So I also agree with that. But assuming arguendo that, or for argument's sake, that they are not co-equal, it goes down to, well, it all boils down to the question again. The Senate must always be reminded that their power is, the power of the plenary is supreme with respect to their own jurisdiction or realm. But they cannot violate the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land. Kaya nga po sinasabi ko rin na, okay, for argument's sake, na kaya nilang utusan, di ba? Sige, nandun na tayo. Kaya nilang utusan yung House na sinasabi nilang because the House is the prosecution in this proceeding. Tingnan muna natin, ano nga ba ang punto nung inuutos nyo? Yung certification from the House of Representatives, it enjoys the presumption of legality. And again, just to emphasize, you already issued summons to Vice President Sara Duterte. Impliedly, you are recognizing or acknowledging the legality of the said impeachment complaint, right? And also, with respect to your other reason na you will still confirm with the 20th Congress if they still want to pursue with the impeachment trial. The House of Representatives, the 19th Congress already decided that it wanted to file the said impeachment complaint, and it actually did. And in my humble legal opinion, the House of Representatives followed all the procedures and all the requirements under the Constitution. So again, they may have the power, but is it a correct exercise of power? Dahil maaari nating sabihin na may kapangyarihan kang gawin ito, pero tama ba yung ginawa mo? Diba po? Iba yun yung may kapangyarihan ka, pero at the end of the day, is the exercise of your power correct?
May mga nagpo-push na si Chief Justice ang mag-decide ng impeachment ng Vice President. Ang argument nila ganito. Although sinasabi ng Constitution na yung Chief Justice ang mag-represent when the President is on trial, merong provision na nagsasabi na the Vice President may be removed from office in the same manner as the President. Do you agree?
That the Chief Justice must also preside over this, well, as a lawyer, of course, I will always follow the law, right? I respect those commentaries, but if we study the deliberations of the Constitutional Commission, it will reveal that the intention of our framers is that It is only in cases where the president is the impeachable official or the one on trial in an impeachment proceeding. That's the only instance na ang ating Chief Justice of the Supreme Court will preside. And in accordance doon sa naging palitan ng kuro-kuro or opinion ng ating mga framers, it excluded the Vice President and the other officials from such instance. But then again, that is a good point, right? That is a good point wherein this can be a subject of amending our 1987 Constitution, right? Because ang ganda ngang example na ano bang pagkakaiba kapag ang presidente or ang vice-presidente ang on trial sa impeachment proceeding. Mas maganda talaga na ang Chief Justice of the Supreme Court because, for example, the Senate President, of course, he is a senator. What if kaalyado niya yung public official na ini-impeach? Diba? It will create a perception that he or she will, of course, be biased. But then again, as a lawyer, for now, I will follow the law that in this case, it is still the Senate President who should preside over this impeachment proceeding.
Ma'am, as a lawyer that you are, of course, sumaharap kayo sa korte. Sabi nga nila, yung abogado rin na nasa korte, maski yung mga judges, hindi dapat affected ng pain or pleasure. May term doon stoic. Dapat stoic. Ano ang payo nyo sa mga karaniwang mamamayan? Kasi nung nakita namin, magsusuntukan si Robin at saka si Villanueva. At the end of the day, wala palang pinag-aawayan. Magkakampi pala. Ma'am, anong masasabi nyo sa mga karaniwang mamamayan para hindi naman nag-aaway yung labandera at saka yung taga-igib ng tubig doon sa mga bagay na, well, pinag-uusapan lang dapat doon sa impeachment court?
Unang-una, sana naman ay igalang nila yung solemnity or majesty ng Senate Hall, right? Or the institution itself. They must respect the institution, the Senate itself. Huwag naman nilang ipakita sa taong bayan na magsusuntukan, right? And sa atin naman po mga taong bayan, sana po ay huwag na tayong madala sa mga drama. Dapat po ay mas maging matalino tayo sa pag-iisip. Ang tingnan nyo po sa mga senator judges ay during the course of this impeachment proceeding, you must judge also our senator judges. Hindi lamang si Vice President Sara Duterte ang on trial dito. The Senate itself as an institution is likewise on trial. Observe the demeanor, how the senator judges will receive the evidence, and more importantly, how these senators judges will decide the case. Sila ba ay magbabase sa ebidensya? Or sila ba ay magbabase sa kanilang political alliance? Kasi kung ganun, in essence, hindi nila pinapagana ang kanilang konsensya na maging public servant sa taong bayan.
Ma'am, sige po. Dahil nagkaroon na ng triviality.
Maaari nilang isuspend ang kanilang miyembro if that said member shows a disorderly behavior. So, dapat po ba nagsuntukan na lang? Para may masuspend, di po ba? But then again, buti na lamang at walang nagsuntukan because that is inappropriate. It's the Senate. It's an institution. Kung nabubuhay lamang ang ating mga dating magagaling na senador na Senator Salonga, Senator Defensor Santiago, nakakahiya sa kanila dahil itinaguyod nila ang Senado as an institution which must be respected. Kaya walang puwang sa Senado ang mga ganoong action or behavior.
Sa susunod na araw, ang Senado bilang impeachment court, talagang dyan ang attention natin at isang bagay na magiging attention yung tinatawag na rules of procedure. Andyan yung mga dapat gawin the do's and the don'ts, yung mga alituntunin. Sa inyo bang pakiwarin, merong dictionary na first part. Meron dapat baguhin dyan dahil merong tahimakas si Ricky Cheese na dapat daw baguhin dahil ginawa raw ito nung panahon ni Corona, 2012. Meron ba kayong ganyang pananaw? That is the first part. Second part, itong bahagi nitong rules of procedure, ano man ang desisyon ng Senate as an impeachment court is inappealable. Hindi raw pwedeng galing sa Supreme Court yan dahil teorya na sui generis ito impeachment process. Hindi ko alam ang pananaw niya, hindi ako bukato. Pinaano ko na isa ito sa interest ko kahit hindi ako bukato.
Okay, thank you, sir, for those questions. As to your first question, kung pwede nilang baguhin ang kanilang impeachment rules, yes, they can do that. Under our 1987 Constitution, the Congress, and in this particular case, the Senate, can promulgate their own rules of impeachment as long as it is in accordance with Article 11. So they can do that, sir, as long as hindi sila lalabag sa ating saligang batas. As to your second question po, for example, nag-render sila ng decision sa impeachment case na ito. Unfortunately, as a general rule, hindi na ito maiaapila sa Supreme Court. That is final and unappealable. For example, kinonvict nila. That's it, convicted, removed na from office. On the other hand, kapag inacquit naman nila, then also, it cannot be appealed or it cannot be a subject of a motion for reconsideration. Pero, kung doon sa proseso po ay may violate sila na constitutional provision. Halimbawa po, ang sinasabi ng saligang batas, para ma-remove ang isang impeachable official, 2/3, di ba? Ang kailangang botohan. Pero ang nangyari, sir, 1/3 lang ang nagboto, pero kinonvict pa rin nila. That can be questioned before the Supreme Court because they violated a constitutional provision.
So ma'am, parang sinasabi niyo sa amin, non-lawyers, na yung procedural law, sumusuporta lang sa substantive law, which is the Constitution.
Very good. That's correct.
Okay. So ma'am, hindi pwedeng i-dismiss. Of course, sabi nga nila, pag magtatanong tayo, exaggerate natin ang maintindihan ng karaniwang tao. Halimbawa, mali yung pagkakasampan ng kaso, nagkaroon ng letter S, yung vice presidents. Hindi siya pwedeng i-dismiss. Kasi sabihin ng ibang abogado, a nation of lawyer tayo, hindi si BP Sara yan kasi may S . So, plural yan. Hindi pwedeng i-dismiss sa ganung kababaw na reasoning, papasok doon, hindi yung procedural law, kung hindi yung substantive law.
Yes. Pag trivial matter, yan naman ay hindi grounds to dismiss an impeachment complaint. Na-nullify lang yan or madidismiss kung kunwari hindi sinunod ng Kamara yung kaukulang bilang ng boto, like the 1/3 vote under our 1987 Constitution. But in the example you gave, kunwari typographical error lamang with respect to the complaint, that is not a ground to dismiss the said impeachment complaint. That is why I find it pointless din yung sinabi ng Senate or the impeachment court that wala raw kasing attestation na hindi nila violate yung 1-year ban rule or walang certification kaya pinapa-certify nila. But, you know, it has the presumption of legality. The fact that they filed it before the Senate and transmitted the articles of impeachment to the Senate, it means that there was no violation of the 1-year ban rule.
Okay, ma'am, dagdagan niyo pa yung knowledge namin para hindi naman kayo inosente o ignorante. Yung isang beses lang magpa-file ng impeachment sa isang impeachable official sa loob ng isang taon, ang tanong ko po, kung halimbawang 4 ang articles of impeachment na ito ay summation nung 4 na naunang ipinarating sa House of Representatives, can it be considered as one impeachment complaint o 4 na magkakaiba gaya ng sinasambit ng nasa taas?
Tama, no? Para maliwanagan po ang ating mga kababayan. The word initiate under the 1987 Constitution has a technical meaning po. This was already ruled in the case I cited, Francisco versus House of Representatives. Pag sinabi po na initiating of an impeachment complaint, ibig pong sabihin yan ay may nag-file ng verified complaint before the House of Representatives, either by a member of the House of Representatives or by a private citizen by way of an endorsement by a member of the House of Representatives. And dapat po ay ni-refer ito sa Committee on Justice. So kung ito lamang po ay final pero walang referral sa Committee on Justice, it is not deemed as initiated. That is why in the case at bench, dito sa nangyari po sa Kamara, sinasabi po kasi nung defense na 4 yung final na complaint, violation daw po yun ng 1-year ban rule. That is misleading. That is incorrect. Dahil yung 4th complaint lamang po ang inirefer sa Committee on Justice, ibig sabihin, isang impeachment complaint lamang ang final against Vice President Sara Duterte within this year. Ayan.
Just one last question. This may sound trivial, but I want your honest opinion. Do you think the senators need a crash program on the impeachment process? Kasi umang-manong ano po sinasabi
Ako nga po, willing akong i-lecture sila kung gusto nila because they must know that this is a serious task. This is not a trivial matter. Hindi naman po hinihingi ng saligang batas at ng mga mamamayang Pilipino na sila ay maging genius, sila ay maging mga abogado, but they should have the humility to desire to learn. Hindi ba po? Lahat naman po tayo ay dapat patuloy na nag-aaral. Yun lamang po ang pakiusap sa ating mga senador na huwag po tayong mahiya na magpatuloy mag-aral. Dahil this is the future of our country we are talking about. We are implementing an accountability process. That is why, tama yun, sir, if they are humble enough, they have the monetary resources, they can devise a program wherein they will invite experts in the field of constitutional law or political law, our framers, the framers of the 1987 Constitution. Sa korte po kasi, sa Supreme Court, nag-iimbita yan ng mga amicus curiae, di ba? Yung mga friends of the court. Iniimbitahan po nila ang mga brilliant minds in the legal profession na alam nilang makakatulong sa trabaho nila. Matatalino na po yun, di ba? Ang ating mga Supreme Court justices, but they have the humility to learn from the experts. So maybe the Senate can also emulate that kind of program to ensure that they will effectuate or implement their duty well.
Ma'am, kunin ko lang, on an ideal setup, dun sa articles of impeachment, pag normal yung proseso, it will be referred to the Justice Committee who will make the determination of form and substance. But in the 4th article of impeachment, na-skip na to because they used the express route, di ba? Na parang, because it was signed by more than 1/3 of the House members. Tama, ma'am?
Yes, that is correct. That is why diretso na, di ba? So it is deemed only a one impeachment complaint. Hindi siya nag-violate sa 1-year ban under the Constitution. Kahit may 4 impeachment complaints na final, just to emphasize, it is the 4th complaint which they deemed initiated and they filed with the Senate.
Ma'am, yung shortcut na binabanggit ni Tenten, hindi naman ito ngayon lang ginawa. Ginawa ito sa panalangin, legal na prayer, at saka religious definition ng prayer ni then Speaker Manny Villar. Nagdasal lang siya, inilakip na yung nilagdaan, wala na rin hearing yon. Diretso sa Senado.
Are you talking about President
Yeah.
Yeah, the impeachment of then President Joseph Estrada. That is correct. And if we study the previous impeachment proceedings in our country, na hindi naman ganun karami, ngayon lang tayo nakarinig, di ba, ng ganitong proseso na remanding of the said impeachment case back to the House of Representatives. Kung mapapansin niyo po, during the time of then President Joseph Estrada, yung sa controversial envelope, di ba? Sa trial, di ba? Sa trial, ipinresenta yun, or sa trial nagkaalaman. So, it all leans towards the rule that if you have any issues, let's thresh it out during the trial and not remand it back to the House of Representatives.
Ma'am, kung tama ang pagkakatanda ko, yung ban ng once a year lang, yung impeachment, na-cure yan panahon or after ni GMA. Kasi nung panahon ni GMA, taon-taon, nagpa-file si then Congressman Pichay ng bakuna impeachment. So na-cure ito nung kinakailangan, hindi kung sinong unang mag-file, doon nag-initiate ang impeachment complaint.
Yes, I believe that is also correct. That is why sana maliwanagan na po ang publiko, no? Na when you say initiation or of the impeachment complaint, it means filing of the said complaint before the House of Representatives, and it must be coupled with the Congress's action of referring it to the Committee on Justice. Hindi yung literal na may final lang, o tapos nag-file uli. Nako, second complaint na, violation na yan. Hindi po ganun yan.
And for us here now, older enough na matandaan, si Senate President Escudero, kongresista noon. Si Joel Villanueva, kongresista rin noong mga panahong yun. Alan Peter Cayetano. Si Subiri.
Yes, and I even read somewhere that Senate President Cheese Escudero, who was at that time a congressman, even, what do you call this? Advanced for the continuance of the impeachment complaint, diba? Against GMA, because he said that, in essence, bakit matatakot? So dapat, in my humble legal opinion, you should also apply that rule to this particular proceeding.
All the boys don't change their mind.
Wala nang questions?